Week 6 of the fantasy basketball season's here already, and here's a few guards that shouldn't be part of your roster starting this week. The first guy that drops, Elfrid Payton of the New York Knicks. So Elfrid Payton, we know throughout his career he can't shoot the basketball well. And this season, once again, he's not shooting the ball that well, 43% from the field. And now with the emergence of Emmanuel Quickly over the last few weeks for this Knicks team, I think Payton's going to lose his starting job sooner than later. And on the season, he's ranked 160th. And in the last 2 weeks, he's ranked 200th as Payton. He's 41% from the field, 0.4 threes a game, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. So Elfrid Payton, he's not doing much right now. He's putting up mediocre numbers, and he's not going to shoot the basketball well. His assists on the season are only 4 a game, which is nothing for a point guard, and he's shooting 43% from the field. So Elfrid Payton, he's still owned in 49% of fantasy leagues. But I think 10 and 12 team leagues, he's definitely a droppable player. He's playing the playing time, but it's just no impact. His stats for fantasy owners or really the Knicks team. And if Quickly starts playing more minutes than him, which we're going to start to see, I believe, Elfrid Payton, he's definitely worth the drop. So if there's better options on the wire this week, I would drop Payton. The second guard I would drop this week, Milton of the Philadelphia 76ers. Milton, he was a big pickup earlier on in the season, but now his stats have gone down as well. And owners, they're starting to drop him. His percentage has gone down 13%, and he's still owned though in 44% of fantasy leagues. But now over the last couple weeks, he's really taken a downfall. Here is Milton. On the season, he's still ranked number 93. But over the last week now, he's ranked 227th. He had 10 points, 1.3 rebounds, 2 assists, a 3 a game, 34% from the field, which is just horrible. So Milton, he's in a shooting slump. Hopefully he gets out of it. But I think those big games for him this season, they're not going to come as often as they were early in the year, where teams didn't really pay attention to him. Because now in his last few games, Milton, he's really hit the skids. January 20th, 29 minutes. He shot 40% from the field, 16 points, 2 threes, a rebound, an assist, and a steal. Then versus the Celtics on the 22nd, 18 minutes he played, 28% from the field, 6 points, 2 assists, and a steal. And then a couple nights ago versus Detroit, 3 for 9 from the field, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and no steals. So pretty much Milton, he's a 3-point shooter and a scorer for fantasy owners, because he don't give you much of anything really in the other categories. He'll give you 1 or 2 assists a game maybe, and 1 to 2 rebounds, and that's just not going to cut it. So Milton right now, he's not scoring the basketball that good, and his minutes per game are only at about 18 to 22 minutes a game since he returned from the protocol list. So anyway, Milton, I think I would drop him, at least in shallower leagues. In deeper leagues, maybe you hold on to him, but right now he's not producing, and pretty much for fantasy owners, he's a one-trick pony anyway in scoring the basketball. So I think you could cut him loose. And the third and final guard I would cut loose and drop this week's Dillon Brooks of the Memphis Grizzlies. Brooks here, he was off to a good start earlier in the season, but right now his numbers have really taken a hit, and his stats have really gone down. On the season, he's averaging 15 points a game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, a nice 1.4 steals per game, 1.9 threes, but the field goal percentage is bad, 36% from the field. And now over the last 2 weeks, Brooks on the season, he's ranked 111. The last 2 weeks, he's ranked 229, and he had 11 points, 3.5 boards, 3 assists, zero point 0.8 steals, 1 3 a game, and an awful 29% from the field. And on top of it now, Brooks, all his games and the Grizzlies games obviously are postponed to January 30th. So it looks like another week where a majority of the week you're going to be without Brooks, and he's definitely droppable at this point. There's definitely options out there to pick up on the wire. And Brooks, you're not going to get him. Today's only the 24th, and he's not going to be available to play to the 30th, is Brooks. So that's not a good sign. With the Grizzlies postponed because of the COVID and the protocols, I think it's time to cut Dillon Brooks. He's in a slump, and he's not playing games. That's a few guards I would drop here in Week 6 of the fantasy basketball season.